This one always gets me so much. When you're going to pitch, you want to create an experience for the person that you're pitching. So I'm the closer. If I'm speaking to my prospect, what I don't want to do is sound like every Tom, Dick and Harry that they've probably spoken to already, especially for where we are right now. Like, guys, it's 2025. People know they're an online product. People understand they're going to be talking to closers, and people understand that when they get on a free strategy call with you, they are going to be talking to someone who is a salesperson or a closer. If anything, that's even better, because at least they know they're coming into a very honest and transparent conversation. So the worst thing that you can do as a closer or the salesperson is when you get onto a call with these people, if your pitch is boring, sounds pretty mundane, doesn't sound exciting, and most importantly, it's not tailored or personalized to the fucking person you're speaking to, the person you're speaking to is going to switch off. They're not going to be listening. And this is meant to be the formula that is actually going to help them and get them to invest their own money so that they can win, yeah, but then the business wins and you make money. So if you're not making this fucking pitch exciting, you are playing it very, very small. And the product might be incredible. So I'm not saying that you can't close deals like that, but what I am saying is this. You're leaving money on the table by not tailoring it to the individual and not making it an experience. And I'll give you a quick example of that too. The experience and the funnel and the marketing, it's all really one big monster. Marketing strategies have been used forever, but we can bring that as salespeople into our conversations and see how we can really up the game. For example, if you see a poster for McDonald's fries and they both have the identical image of the same McDonald's chips, image number one has the chips here, and underneath the motto is something like 1% saturated fat. And then the same image is over here as example 2, and underneath this, 99% of ingredients added to increase taste, energy, reduce bloatedness, and still have the same incredible taste. Both of those products are the same, but based on the description, based on the experience that you see presented to you, which one would you go for? Now, if I did a half decent job at breaking that down, spitballing, then you're probably gonna go for this option. It sounded great, it sounded like it was gonna help you, but it also sounded really exciting. Do the same fucking thing with your sales pitches. When you go into a pitch and you've gone through discovery, and now you're gonna bring the person through the pitch, and this is the bit that they've been excited for, because now the language that you're going to use is going to be tied up into the marketing or the ads or the funnel, the outreach, the Instagram, the text message, the pre-call contact, whatever they've seen before. This is where it all starts to make sense. So now you've gone through discovery. You've got them in a motion where they know they need to change. They understand what life may look like if they don't make any changes. And ultimately, they fully understand they are responsible for changing this outcome and actually being very successful. And instead of not having the things they want, they are ready to have the things they want. And then finally, just before you pitch, you want to keep them in an optimum state of happiness, peak dreamer state, high energy. So you've done the hard work. Now, imagine if you don't give a fucking fantastic pitch and an experience. Everything you've just done in discovery might come undone. And then you've wasted your time, energy, and essentially you've cost yourself money. And averagely speaking, if you're selling like a 3, 5, 10K product, I mean, if that's just the way you behave and you do that 5 days a week, essentially you're costing yourself at least $10,000 just by not creating a very fair human experience. I mean, come on, what the fuck are we playing at? So here's how you do it. It's micro adjustments, just a little tweak. Quick example for you. If you're selling some kind of mentorship and there's a community component to the mentorship, instead of saying to the prospect, so what we're also gonna do is we're gonna place you inside of our community. And inside of that community, you're gonna be surrounded by people that want the same things as you, like-minded individuals. And that's really going to benefit you being around people that want the same thing as you. They've probably heard that before. Sounds boring. Doesn't sound bad, but they've fucking heard it before. So here's how we can change that. Instead, change the language and tweak it to sound unique, to sound powerful, to sound fucking 10 out of 10. And this is kind of what it could sound like. Now, the other thing that's really cool about what we do, and I'm personally so proud that we even offer this, is that we have an entire network and an entire system of successful multi-millionaire day traders who've been where you are, grown and developed, and now they live life on their terms and make more money than they ever thought was possible before they actually joined our community. And imagine the compound effect if every single day you're partnered and in the same environment have these successful millionaire day traders. Do you think your life would be different? Do you think that would help you grow? Do you actually think that this would be a key moment in your own development and progress? So you're a product of your environment, right? Well, we know that to be true, and this is why we back it up. You're now going to be surrounded by a network of hyper-successful multi-millionaire day traders who've been in the same position you're in right now and have come through on the other end, and now they're making more money than they've ever made before, all because they locked in, dialed in, and they have a millionaire mindset, meaning they save time, they make money, and they preserve their energy, so they ultimately just live life on their terms. And you surrounded yourself with 5 of those guys every single day. Chances of you being multi-millionaire day trader number 6? Do you think that's high or do you think that's low? Probably pretty high, right? Well, we got you covered and that's how it works. Does that make sense before I move on? Now, obviously I was spitballing, but what I'm trying to say is this. You create an experience, you stick out, and that person remembers. And because you use certain words of emotion, like millionaire, freedom, money, energy, time, family, future, or any other words that related to your discovery, bang, it triggers something in that person's mind. So they remember that part. Make your pitch an experience, tailor the language that you're going to use in the pitch to tailor it to the person. And also the best way you can do that is combine it with the language and the funnel and the marketing that they've seen before, so they feel this is a great entry point. And then finally, give amazing energy. Be human. Don't be afraid to use humor, and just hyper focus it and tailor to that individual. And by doing that, if you've done your discovery really well and you understand exactly what the problems this person is facing, and now you've given a 10 out of 10 pitch, by the time you get to the close, you shouldn't really have many objections other than money and fear. And we can handle money all day long. That's just a logistics problem, all good. And we can handle fear because we have an entire framework for that, and I can show you that next time. But by that point, if you overcome fear and you overcome money, guess what you just did? You just closed the fucking damn deal. And have you changed everything? No. Have you tweaked something very, very important though? Yes. So, how does it feel doing this? Instead of losing 10 grand, you're gonna be making 10 grand instead. Hope that was helpful. Peace.